Imagine waking up one morning and reaching into your pocket for some coins, only to realize they are completely worthless. Every single denarius you had saved, every coin you trusted, gone in an instant. It sounds impossible, right? But in the 3rd century AD, this nightmare became a brutal reality for millions of people living inside the Roman Empire. At that time, Rome wasn't just powerful, it was the most dominant empire the world had ever seen, stretching across Europe, North Africa, and deep into the Middle East. Its cities were full of life, markets were crowded, trade was booming, and Roman coins were trusted everywhere. But beneath all that glory, something was quietly going very, very wrong. The empire was bleeding money. Endless wars on multiple fronts, expensive armies that needed constant payment, luxurious lifestyles of emperors, and deep-rooted corruption were draining the treasury faster than anyone could control. The government faced a serious problem. They needed more money, and they needed it fast. But instead of fixing the system, they chose a shortcut, a dangerous one. They began reducing the silver content in their coins. At first, it was a small change, almost invisible to the average person. A coin that once had nearly pure silver now had just a little less. People didn't notice, and life went on as normal. But then the next emperor reduced it even more, and the next, and the next. Over time, those once valuable silver coins became cheap metal discs with barely any real worth. And that's when everything started to fall apart. People slowly began to realize that their money was losing value. Trust, the very foundation of any currency, started to crack. Merchants became suspicious. Traders demanded more coins for the same goods. Prices began to rise, slowly at first, then faster, and then completely out of control. Bread that once cost 1 coin suddenly cost 10, then 50, then hundreds. Everyday items that were once easily affordable became luxuries. Families struggled just to survive. The marketplace, once full of energy and confidence, turned into a place of panic and uncertainty. Imagine going to sleep with enough money to feed your family for a week, and waking up to find it can't even buy a single loaf of bread. That was the reality. People rushed to spend their money as quickly as possible, knowing that every passing hour made it less valuable. Shops stopped displaying prices because they changed too frequently. Some merchants refused to accept coins at all. Instead, they demanded gold, goods, or direct exchange. In many places, the economy started moving backwards. People returned to bartering, trading items instead of using money. Some of the most heartbreaking stories came from ordinary people. Take Marcus, for example, a small shop owner who had spent his entire life working, saving coin by coin to secure a future for his family. For years, he believed that his savings meant safety. But one morning, when he went to the market to buy grain, he realized something terrifying: his coins were no longer accepted. What once represented years of hard work had turned into useless scraps of metal. His life's savings, erased. And Marcus wasn't alone. Across the empire, millions of people watched their wealth disappear almost overnight. Desperation led to shocking scenes. Some families, unable to afford firewood, began burning their coins just to stay warm, because the metal itself had more value than the currency stamped on it. Soldiers, who were supposed to protect the empire, refused to fight unless they were paid in something valuable like gold or food. Many even turned against their own leaders. Farmers stopped bringing crops to the market because they didn't trust the money they were being paid. Trade slowed down, then nearly stopped. Businesses collapsed because they couldn't keep up with constantly changing prices. The entire economic system began to freeze. This wasn't just an economic problem anymore, it was a full-scale crisis that shook the very foundation of the Roman Empire. Hyperinflation had taken over. Wealth was hoarded, trust was broken, and stability was slipping away. The empire, once known for its strength and control, was now struggling to manage its own economy. Historians today look back at this period as one of the earliest and most dramatic examples of hyperinflation in human history, a powerful warning that even the greatest empires are not immune to financial collapse. And what makes this story even more important is how relevant it still is today. While modern money isn't made of silver coins, the principle remains the same. Money only has value because people believe in it. That belief, that trust, is everything. When governments print too much money or fail to manage their economies properly, that trust can start to break. And once it does, the consequences can be devastating. Rome's story is not just history, it's a lesson, a warning, and a reminder of how fragile financial systems can be. So the next time you check your wallet, or look at your bank balance on your phone, take a moment to think about it. Think about Marcus, think about millions of people who once believed their money was safe, only to see it vanish in front of their eyes. Because in the end, money isn't just paper, metal, or numbers on a screen, it's trust. And when that trust is broken, everything changes. If you want to discover more shocking stories about money, economic disasters, and hidden truths that history tried to forget, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because what you learn next might completely change the way you see the world.